Thank you for turning to 10, your news leader. 10 News Conference with Gene Valicenti continues right now.
First responders not only deserve to have buildings that they feel proud of, but they deserve to be in safe buildings.
That's Johnston Mayor Joe Polisena Jr. talking about the need for a new fire headquarters, police headquarters, new town hall complex. He's in studio with me. We're going to get to all of that. Welcome in, Mayor.
Thank you for having me.
First, you know what? You're a Democrat, and your town, Johnston, went for Trump. Again, am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're a little bit of a different kind of Democrat
Yes.
up there. You're kind of like your father was a conservative Democrat. He also was a Trump supporter. Are you a Trump supporter?
I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Trump supporter. I would
Right.
call myself more of a National Democratic Party critic. And just the leftward shift that the Democratic Party has made as a whole,
Yep.
I think it's cost the party tremendously. And I actually think it's cost the party tremendously with young men like myself.
Do you still consider yourself a Democrat? Because you're sort of out of step with the mainline Democrats as we know them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. I'm a
Yeah.
registered Democrat. I run as a Democrat. I still have faith that the Democratic Party can be the party of the working people. I don't think it's been that party for quite some time now. I think it's kind of the party of the coastal and university elites.
Well, I guess you listen a little closer to home. You have Enrique Sanchez. You have a lot of progressive Democrats up there. At the State House, are you on the outs with them as well, I assume?
Yeah, I wouldn't
You don't
say-
like the way they're going?
No, I don't agree with a lot of what they do, and I think the proof is in the pudding nationally. You look at the United States Senate, the Democrats have no shot to win back the Senate for probably the next 6 years at least.
Well, what do you think happened to your party? Johnson, old line, Roosevelt, Kennedy, Democrats. Still majority Democrat, but not so much the new Democrat Party. What happened and why are they the holdout?
So I think
You're not the holdout. There's other towns in Rhode Island, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the saying that you've always heard that all politics is local is not true anymore. I think all politics is national. I think people in Johnston and elsewhere are really upset with the state of the Democratic Party nationally.
So, just run down the litany. If ICE comes to your town, there's a criminal they want to grab. You're good with it? You'll cooperate?
Yes.
You'll send the police if they need it?
Yes.
Okay. Low-income housing.
Yes.
Okay, that's an issue you're not good with. I think you told me you have enough and that you're looking for another kind of housing. Maybe you have no problem with a single-family home, pays taxes, but you're on the outs with Governor McKee on that. You're pushing back against him.
Yeah, so I think, when it comes to this low-income housing, and there's different levels. There's workforce housing, middle housing, low-income housing. Yeah. What I've been saying from the beginning is I want more single-family homes built, and especially owner-occupied homes. We have that going on in Johnston right now. We have 15 units going up off Pine Hill Avenue. Only 3 are the quote-unquote affordable. Yep. The AMI is 100%. And then we have 34 going up off Shun Pike, and only 17 of those are, again, they're middle income. The AMI is 100%. But those are owner-occupied, and that's what I'm really pushing for.
Right. Now, there were grand plans for a larger complex that you put the brakes on. In fact, you want to seize that property by eminent domain, take it away from the developer, and you want to put a police and fire headquarters town hall complex there. Is that an end run around McKee and Shikarchi, who want this low-income and affordable housing in your town? Are you outsmarting them? We'll see in the end. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on who you ask. The need for those 3 facilities is there, and that's why we made that presentation at the council and had myself, the fire chief, and the police chief speak on the state of the buildings. And as far as that 252-unit low income, it's 100% low income. I think it's 80% AMI, and it's all apartments, so it's all rentals. Like, one thing I have not heard from anybody, whether, for it, against it, is how's the town going to pay for it? So the way it works in Johnston is that it is $18,000 to educate a student. That's the average cost for a non-IEP student. IEPs vary. It could be extra time on a test, which costs nothing, or it could be a child that is unfortunately severely disabled. They need their own CNA.
Just for those who don't, IEP, Independent Educational Program, a child with special needs or other needs gets a special program, costs more money. Go ahead.
So if we had that complex come in, say there's an average of 2.5 people per unit. Some will have 4, some may have 2.
Yep.
Let's say it's average of 2.5 people, 630 people. Say if there's 100 students that come from that. If none of them have IEPs, none of them, which I think wouldn't be the case, some would, it would be $1.8 million. Where am I going to get that money other than going to the people who currently live in Johnston now and raising their taxes?
Well, I guess if you put that toward the governor, well, you know what? I asked him about you pushing back on his push for low-income affordable housing. Shikarchi, the same thing. Speaker of the House, same thing. Play it, and then you can react to this. He says everybody's got to pitch in and take these no matter what. Play it.
There's many ways that communities can help do this. If communities really say that, you know, they got more affordable than they need, well, there's ways that we can put home ownership in there. So I'm not going to get in a fight with any municipality in terms of what that is, you know, that they have an exception to a strategy. But one of the things we're going to make sure is that all 39 cities and towns, well, we have a plan that's coming. And then there's going to be a certain amount of units that we want to get built on different ranges of housing. And we're going to work with our local communities to help make that happen. Whether Johnston is willing to do that or not, but communities are not willing to step forward and do their part. We'll have to find another way for them to contribute. What we need is to make sure that we have the inventory to slow down the pace of the cost.
Okay, translate for me. Is he going to make trouble for you? Governors can make trouble, so can speakers if you don't see things their way. You need them for a lot of things.
Of course.
So how do you take that?
Yeah, listen, you know, I respect both the governor and the speaker, but, you know, I'm not the mayor of Rhode Island. I'm not the mayor of anywhere else other than Johnston. I represent my constituents. Johnston is a working class community. I do not have the ability to go back to my constituents every fiscal year and raise their taxes, and particularly for a reason to raise their taxes for people who don't even live in the community yet.
Now, you know, not that long ago, there was a dust-up at one of your city council. It was a hearing on this, and you had a constituent who said, we don't want this, we don't want, was it Chad Brown? We don't want the attendant problems that come with low-income housing. Now, that you didn't say that.
No.
He said that, but that got a lot of ink. Do you want to clarify that, or do you want to speak for the the town of Johnston?
Yeah, I mean, I think that comment was totally out of line. And what I said from the beginning is, if you want to compare that to Chad Brown, like, tell me why. Tell me the size of Chad Brown. Tell me the AMI percentage. So use facts and data to back up your analogies. Don't just say something without anything to back it up. I think he embarrassed himself.
Okay. Stay with us. This is the mayor of Johnston. A lot more to talk about. He wants a new fire and police headquarters, a new town hall. He's going to do something with the schools, too. Mayor Joe Polisena Jr. is in with me. Now, you're going to seize that land by eminent domain. Council support to do that. Do you expect that developer who wants that land for low-income housing, is he going to sue you in court? You have a city solicitor. What would you do if this comes to court?
I think it's 50-50 on whether they're going to try to stop the eminent domain.
Yeah.
What I think is 100%, and listen, I understand it. If I were in the developer's shoes, I would do the same thing. I think they're going to argue about the purchase price. They're going to say you have to value the land with the apartments on it.
Okay.
And what our contention is going to be, no, we're going to value the land just as raw land as it is right now.
All right. Apart from the politics involved in housing and in the fight with McKee, you say you really do need a new fire department, police department, new town hall. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you on town hall. That thing's been up on the corner. An odd spot for it, right at the intersection. So go ahead and make the case to put this new complex on that property.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to the state of our current buildings, you know, people can see them for themselves. The fire station used to be the actual original police and fire headquarters all in one. That was built, I want to say, in the late 50s, early 60s. The police station was built in, I think, 76. That was built when the department was half the size it is right now. And Town Hall was built in 1939 when the town probably had maybe 12, 15,000 people. We have 30,000 now. So that's the case to replace the existing buildings. And to put it in the location that it is right now, it's a state road, it has sewers, it has water, it has gas. And it's going to be one-stop shopping for everybody. So no longer the days if you need something in Johnston, you go to the town clerk's office and then he maybe refers you to the rec department, sends you down to DPW. It'll be one-stop shopping for everything.
Well, it'll be new. It would be modern. Everything consolidated. It sounds like it makes sense. Now, to pay for that, though, you would have to scale back. You had plans for a brand new high school in Johnston. You're scaling back that. You're going to renovate the old one?
Yes.
So that money that was allotted would be able to go to this new complex, square the two. Not everybody's happy with that, but you can make the case.
Yeah, I think so. The case, you know, it would be a couple points. Number one, I think the school department has some structural deficit issues that they need to solve first. So that's number one. Number two, when that bond was sold to the people, that was always sold as a renovation to the high school. And then Johnston, as well as a bunch of other communities, you see COVID happened, inflation, interest rates, everything went up. We went back and we adjusted the plan. So that was always the original plan, to renovate the high school. And the last point I want to make is I've seen some people say, oh, he's taking money from the schools, he's putting it towards police and fire. That's not what I'm doing. I'm extinguishing, so the actual procedural aspect of it is I'm extinguishing the debt on the high school, which would be about $125 million.
Okay.
And instead of having that massive bond that the town's going to have to pay for, we're looking in the range for this complex of only 40, 50 million. So it'd be less than half.
All right, let's go to the Greystone Bridge. You know, I do ask the DOT every Thursday on the radio. This comes up almost like every other week because there's fighting. And that bridge is shared by your town and North Providence. The bridge is closed. There was a plan to replace it. The DOT says there's no plan anymore, and you're just going to have to live with it. Are you going to live with it, or are you going to try to get that thing opened again?
Yeah,
in another way?
We're going to try to, pursue every avenue we can. I still think it's the state's responsibility to, reopen the bridge. It's a state bridge. What they've informed both Johnston and North Providence that the state is not going to reopen it. What they would be willing to do is maybe put forth $1 or $2 million, which they originally wanted to have for the pedestrian bridge, put forth that, and then have the local municipalities, pick up the rest of the tab. My argument to them is that, our capital projects budget is only a couple $1 million. DOT's has to be, $500 million.
Yep.
So we can't absorb a bridge like that, like the state could. But we're going to look at grants. My main priority is to open the bridge, whether it's with DOT, with the municipalities. I don't really care. It's my job to open that bridge. That's what the constituents of Johnston want. I believe it's what the constituents of North Providence want, so I'm going to try to do that.
You also saw that it was your job to open an emergency ramp into an area that persistently floods.
Yeah.
And you had to go around Governor McKee
to
get that. You had to get down to Washington. Governor Raimondo, Pete Buttigieg helped you on that.
Yes.
And with this bridge, I guess you might do it alone or get together with North Providence. I don't know. You're going to go around the governor with that again. You don't have a good relationship with the governor. Tell me the story. What happened? I think I know it. Maybe I don't. What happened? You used to work for him.
Yeah.
And there was a falling out.
Yeah, I think it's just mostly political differences. And people have to remember, I'm from probably one of the most conservative communities in Rhode Island. We saw what happened in this past election. I think overall, the state is on a leftward trajectory. I don't necessarily agree with that. But as I said at the beginning, I'm not the mayor of Rhode Island. I'm not here, to promote myself for another office. I'm here to represent the people of Johnston. The people of Johnston are moderates to conservatives. That's who I represent. And when there's a policy that's put forth that, the people of my community, whether it be a plurality or majority, don't agree with, it's my job to speak up on their behalf, and I try to do it respectfully.
Now, you're with Helena folks. That's
Yes.
pretty much a given. You're not supporting Governor McKee. How do you work with him for the rest of the balance of his term? And listen, I don't know how this is going to go. She may beat him. He may beat her. Rhode Island's a funny place when it comes to predicting things. How do you navigate the rest of this since you're on the outs with him?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to him, and I would put it for myself or any other person in an executive position, he still represents the people of Johnston. He is going to be on the ballot in Johnston. So that is his incentive right there to help Johnston, just as it is for the other 38 municipalities. So that's going to be up to him.
Do you think he's forgotten how to be a mayor? He was mayor of Cumberland. Would he like somebody pushing a low-income project on him when he was mayor? Do you think he's changed a little bit as governor? They're two different jobs. Let's be fair to him. Governor's not mayor, mayor's not governor. Go ahead.
Yeah, and to be fair to him, you cannot run the state like a mayor, because again, I think Cumberland is much different than the state in a totality. I think it is helpful, for a mayor to be in that role, but you have to keep it in the back of your mind. When I was a mayor, what is this like? And it's for some reason, the state likes to put forth, these mandates and put them on the cities and towns. And the one thing that people hate more than anything, I could tell you, Mayor Hopkins could tell you, Mayor Lombardi could tell you, people hate property taxes. And what happens is we have to abide by these state mandates, and again, it goes through property tax increases. And that bill hits you all at once.
If you're out of sync with the Democrat Party, which you said at the top, it's not, you consider yourself a Democrat, it's the party that's left you. Why not one as a Republican? Mayor Hopkins does it in Cranston. Why not go as Republican? They might elect you in your town. About 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't think, party title matters as much as what you put forth to the voters in your policy. Yeah. And I'm about getting stuff done. I'm not going to ribbon cut, and I'm not going to proclamate my way, to a re-election. I just want to get stuff done both on a policy level and do what's best for the people of Johnston.
Well, you got a full plate. We're going to be following you because a lot of this stuff is in flux. We'll see how it goes. Johnston Mayor Joe Polisena Jr., thanks for coming in.
Thank you.